I try to listen to the intro music in my head when I do my smooth twirls. I might be wrong though, because usually it ends up like the podcast comes in and it's us just muttering and then like, oh, hi.
Oh, well, I never know what the timing is like because it's like wherever you start the music, because we've been recording, it's like, who knows? We'll see. We'll figure it out. I just wing
surprise.
it. Surprise.
Hey, welcome to my favorite podcast. I'm one of your favorite co-hosts, Aaron and Sweeney.
And I'm your favorite co-host, Ty Turner. I got to turn your volume up.
I don't think my air conditioner is on whisper mode, and I'm worried if I turn it down now, it's going to mess up the balance of all the sound for this podcast. So do I just leave it?
Yeah, just leave it on. We're going to have an AC cast today, folks.
Sorry about that. Once we kind of set like the noise canceling and sample it for the sound clip, it kind of applies to the rest of the sound clip. So if I lower it now, then the beginning, I'm going to sound like super muffled because it's going to be canceling out some of me. Anyway, so thanks for being a good sport about it. What is it? It's like 30 something degrees Celsius. That's like, what, 100 American? I don't actually. Oh, no,
100 American degrees.
1 million.
Red, white, and blue degrees.
32 Celsius to Fahrenheit. Who could spell Fahrenheit?
Not me.
It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I was mistaken.
You were close.
It's hot though.
It's hot in Topeka today. I'm feeling that too.
How much is 100 Fahrenheit is 37 Celsius. Okay, it's not that. It's not off by that much. We've had like 38. So anyway, that was the weather forecast.
Canada. It's supposed to be Welcome to our podcast.
Really captivating stuff here.
What the fuck is this? You're like, oh, let me go and put this into my converter real quick and figure. Well, so now you guys know the AC is necessary. I'm sorry if the background noise displeases you, but it is 30 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's necessary.
It's hard, man. Sometimes, actually, it works with today's topic. Today's topic is about being a creator and mental health and stuff like that and all that good stuff. And it goes perfectly with what I was about to say. I sometimes get a lot of shit for like really random things that are completely out of my control as a human being. Like the fact that things reflect off my glasses when I film. I'm like,
yeah, sorry, folks.
I can't. It's glass.
Let me polarize this shit for you. Then I won't be able to see out of them.
Yeah, and like if I turn off the light, it's I mean, this isn't the best example because there's still some daylight, but like you won't be able to see me. That's the long story long. You can't see me, and also I can't wear contact lenses because my eyes are a funky shape because I had surgery on them when I was like 6. So all that to say, I can't change how reflective my glasses are. I don't know how other creators with glasses do it, but I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, you'd be surprised the number of people like, I'm unsubscribing. Your glasses are just too distracting. I'm like, I'm so sorry. That's what did it. It wasn't the George Costanza shirt. All right. I mean, to each their own.
And that mental health. What? I'm sorry. I got lost for a second. You were like, and that's why that relates to our topic about mental health.
It relates to the topic because the way that I see the topic is kind of like being a creator, but also being a human being.
Okay.
And like what comes along with that are the mental health issues and stuff. And like there are a lot of things that are out of our control, and like having to accept as a creator that there will be things that are out of our control, and accepting that we can't always be perfect, stuff like that. But then like it becomes so hard when your comment section is like down to the reflection of the light in your glasses. People will criticize you, and you got to take it, because I'm like, you're the one watching this. You're allowed to have an opinion on it, of course, but it's like, it's so hard, and people are like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah. It's like, have you read the things that you guys say all the time? No, it's usually like there's a lot of nice people, but then there's also people who just like will bitch over literally anything. And
it's hard, man.
It's a balance. And I think a lot of like the whole being a social media creator and already having like so much nitpicking on everything that you do and everything that you show, but then also like with myself, like having anxiety, I'm already like I'm already fucking nervous. about this. And I show
Yeah.
it to you guys, and
Yeah.
you're like, "That's wrong," and I'm like, "Ah, fuck." And it's
Right?
it's
You ever,
hard.
like, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, like, you know, growing up, like I've been, I'm not an introvert, but you know, I have a very small social battery, and it takes a lot of effort for me to, like, you know, be performative or, like, you know, that kind of shit. And so, like, you know, I have to turn on for videos, and it's pretty exhausting to do that so frequently. But it fucking, okay, I've lost my train of thought. I started with something completely different and then just ran off.
You said that you have a short social battery, that you're anxious posting things.
Okay, yeah. So it's funny where, like, in real life, yes, I can do these things, but in a lot of circumstances, I'm actually very uncomfortable getting a lot of attention. And, like, the nature of my job as a YouTuber is, like, you know, to gain subscribers and boost your channel. And it's like, I am someone who, you could boil it down to, like, does shit to get attention for a living while simultaneously being really uncomfortable with the amount of attention that I get all the time. It's a nice career choice on my part.
Same. No, I totally get that, where I'm just like, don't look at me, don't, like, I don't want to be, like, it's weird because I check my comment section to keep it under control in a psychological sense, that it doesn't become like this overwhelming monster to face. So I know that, oh, I'm up to date up to here in my comments, and that helps me. Otherwise it becomes like my DMs, where I'm like, good luck. Good luck if you're in there.
My DMs are rip.
There could be anything in there. But I kind of try to keep on top of my comments, but it's hard because it's almost this, like, I want there to be comments because I want people to interact and I want to know what people think about what I'm creating. But at the same time, I'm just like, this overwhelming anxiety of, like, oh, people are talking about me. But it's like, I love reading people's comments. Yeah. But I'm just so delicate that one, I mean, I could deal with the one just like, oh, trans people did 9/11. Like, what, those really, like, trolly, like, you know that they have nothing to talk about. But it's the ones where they're just like, your first grade English teacher was right about you, Aaron. And you're like, why? Why
the worst
they go
ones
so
are
hard?
The ones that I hate the most are people like, I follow you for a long time and I support you and I love you, but, like, your content is just really going downhill and I don't like it anymore. Like, fuck, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I don't get that often, but, you know, I change my content a lot on my channel. Like, I like to try a lot of different stuff. And so sometimes I'll do something that people don't like and they will say it in a really nice way, but that's what hits the hardest. It's because, like, you're not just trying to be an asshole, like, you're being nice, but just telling me, like, I'm not living up to your standards. I'm sorry, Dad. I just want you to be proud of me. But that's fine.
Exactly. Not living up to people's standards. That's the one that, like, it hurts because I'm already insecure about that. And I'm always so worried that, like, I'm going to disappoint people. Like, I made a whole video about rejection sensitive dysphoria. So basically that, I'm worried that before I even try, I feel like I'm going to fail. Like, it's a whole thing to overcome. And then to, like, see the comments and, like, I know that this is a terrible thing to say online because you know that there are those trolls. There are some people who follow you so closely that they start to hate you. And they take notes on this type of shit. And they're like, oh, this is what hurts you? I'm going to hurt you because that's how I know I'll get closest to you. Like, I've had a lot of those. And it messes with you. Yeah. So at the same time, it's like, I feel like I shouldn't be telling people exactly what hurts me because it will definitely be used to hurt me. But also, like, it hurts, and people should, I don't know, I just kind of want to talk about that, because it's like, it's not easy, you know? It's not to complain. I know there are going to be those who are just like, oh, well, you're making videos, you signed up for this, well, don't make videos if you don't want to be criticized. It's like, it's not,
I mean, that's kind of how I am on some level. Like, I'm very used to getting hate comments and shit. Like, I've been on YouTube for over 10 years, and I've, like, always gotten shit for it. Like, not even just on YouTube, but also in real life, because, like, people at school knew that I made YouTube videos and, like, made fun of me for it. Kind of rightfully. My videos were really cringy. So, but no, they were, like, I wasn't, like, bullied, but, you know, I just got shit. You know, kids are awful.
People are assholes.
So fucking, oh yeah. So I've always just been like, you know, this is part of it. This is the internet. Like, people can say really mean shit to me all the time. And, like, it's, I don't know. I think I have a pretty thick skin and don't let it bother me. But the ones that do bother me, like, fucking cut me to my core. It's like, because I have such a thick skin, when something finally gets through, it's a hard day, you know. And
this is why. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good, dude.
I was just gonna say, this is why we appreciate nice comments so much, because what makes me feel better about the shitty comments are reading through the really heartfelt, kind comments, even the ones that are just like little things. It's like it really makes it worth it to see all the kindness, and I try to change my perspective to focus on the positive and all that stuff. But it's like, it's not as easy as like scented candles and yoga and bath bombs. Like sometimes I'm a person, someone said something that hurts. I know I've gotten a lot of like, even that, okay, when I talk about some of the comments that hurt me, I get criticized for that too, because I'm told like I have a negative mindset, and then people suggest like, have you looked up this psychological term where it's just like something about a predisposition towards negative thing, whatever. And I'm like, I know what you're talking about. I know, but it's just, it still hurts, and I just want to be allowed the space to say that it hurts. Like that's it. Yeah. And it helps as soon as I say it, I feel better, because I'm not just keeping it to myself. It kind of gets it out of me, you know. And it's not like I'm posting people's usernames or anything, but it's just like, hey, this horrible thing was said to me and it kind of hurts. And then like, you know, Twitter's a great place. All you friends on Twitter, you're really sweet. So yeah, thanks for leaving nice comments to the people who leave nice comments.
Also on that, like, I don't, you know, just to further support you in that, I've talked to so many YouTubers about this same thing, and anytime I hear them, you know, share their opinion on hate comments, it's always like, you can read 1,000 really lovely comments that are super kind from people who are really just great, and it feels nice, but like one bad comment that is just like particularly nasty can almost negate all of that. And that's going to be the one that you're going to focus on, because you have, like, you know, if it's something you're insecure about, or if it's something that hurts you, like, that's going to give you the most of a response, because that's the shit that you already struggle with. So I don't think you're just focusing on being negative. I think that, you know, it's that's kind of what I hear from everyone, is that like the bad ones stick out the most because they're fucking painful, you know.
Well, like,
but the nice ones are nice.
Sir, please. I find I'm a little how do I say, I'm not like the other girls. No, I'm like a little different when it comes to like online interactions. I don't know, I can just say it's like big autism energy, but like when people talk to me and like say things, it's like, it impacts me a lot. Even the nice stuff, I like on a weekly basis will cry because some of the really just genuinely thoughtful things that people will say are really nice things. Like I get equally impacted by both, and I try to draw attention to like all the positive, but it's like, just because I appreciate the positive doesn't mean I can't also be hurt by the negative. And that's where I get frustrated sometimes. People are like, don't pay attention to it. I'm like, I'm trying, but I read it now and it still hurts. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate all the good stuff. It's just, simultaneously I appreciate the good stuff, but this mean thing really hurts. And then intrusive thoughts get in, and it's like, if this person thinks this, how many other people just watched the video and thought the same thing but didn't comment it? And you start to overthink. It's hard to get that out of your head sometimes when you're creating. So I try to erase, like, I block a lot of it out of my memory. If it's not constructive, I'm just like, I don't want. Thank you. Yeah.
For me, a lot of the, like, you know, I love seeing nice stuff, and a lot of what I consider nice is just people like being like pleasantly memey, you know. I don't get a ton of like heartfelt like, thank you, Ty, for helping me with your fucking meme video. I get a lot of nice stuff like that, but you know, like, it's usually just like, dank memes, daddy, you know, and I'm like, tight. But I have a tendency to, when someone really does open up and give me one of those heartfelt messages, and like he's saying things that are just so kind, my first initial thought is always like to not believe them, and I feel bad about that. It's like, that's not true, you're just saying that to be nice, or like, I don't know, like this, like,
it's like your mom's second account or something, like.
Yeah, I'm like,
like
my mom paid you to say this. Yeah, I'm like,
no.
you feel bad for me. I'm always like, this person probably just feels bad for me and wants to say something nice, but I appreciate it.
No,
I know it's not true. That's just, you know,
but it's just,
mental health.
The intrusive thoughts there.
Yeah. But then I work through that, you know, after that initial thought, I'm like, no, Ty, chill the fuck out. This is a very nice person, and you've helped them. It's weird to say that.
Well, to put it, like, to phrase it in a way, like, I'm a really big fan of Game Grumps and Jenna Marbles, and neither of those channels are about, like, mental health or well-being or any of that. They're literally just like comedy and entertainment channels, but those channels have helped me the most because of the fact that like sometimes it's like the first time I smiled in a day, or the first time I stopped cyclically thinking about trauma, or like, you get what I'm saying? It's like those videos are important, and sometimes like I remember thinking, I'm like, what? I don't even know, like when I met Aaron Hansen, I'm like, I don't even know how do you even, it's like he makes comedy video game videos. How are you supposed to tell him that he made this impact on your life without feeling kind of ridiculous about it? But then I sat with it and I understood. I'm like, sometimes this is it. This is like the happiest I felt in a day. And like, it's so important. It makes such a big difference in people's lives. So I think those like, thanks meme daddy comments are like, sometimes it's a lot of that. I've seen a couple of those like, thanks, this is the first time I smiled today. And I'm like, that's sweet, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is really cool. And I feel like, again, sort of even just relating this back to anxiety, I don't talk a lot about, I don't know, like the hard-hitting stuff that people might want me to talk about, like a lot of controversy or any sort of like drama in the community, or even like very political stuff on my channel. I just don't get into it because I don't like, you know, for drama and stuff, I don't want to like just fight with people online and like have a pissing contest with another YouTuber. With the political stuff, I feel like I'm not really smart enough to weigh in on it in like a way that's actually contributing without just like echoing shit that I've, you know, heard from other people who can say all of this stuff a lot more, like, you know, speak from more of a knowledgeable standpoint than I ever could. So I'm like, but what I can do is like, you know, make these videos, and I've accepted that even though I'm not talking about these topics, I am still making videos for the people who these things impact, and hopefully that I could be like that comedic relief, or just that distraction while still being representation. And that's sort of what I've accepted, because I mean, I've tried to do things and like speak out about stuff, and I'm just like, I'll stick with the memes, you know?
Well, I think you do a very good job of doing those other videos as well. I understand your intimidation because I've felt similarly. Oftentimes, like, kids who grew up with undiagnosed or treated ADHD tend to have been put down a lot, especially for like not phrasing things as eloquently as they should, or like all that shit. You start to feel like, I don't like to use words like this because they're ableist, whatever, but you're told that like you're not smart, you're told that like you're dumb and all this stuff, and then you internalize that, and then you think, especially I do that all the time. I'm talking, I'm like, what am I actually saying? And it's bullshit, because a lot of these things, it's like, I know you have a grasp on like transphobia, on dysphoria, on like navigating coming out. You have a very good grasp on that stuff. We talk about it like all the time. We have like sick convos. It's that insecurity sometimes of like, oh, I need to use these words. And it's like, it's all that is bullshit. Honestly, like all of that eloquent phrasing, a lot of times it's just like embellishments to make you feel more as if the thing you're saying is more legitimate. But like at the end of the day, opinions are based in your ability to rationalize things and come up with solutions and look at things from different standpoints. And you're great at that stuff. Like I've said it before, I'm like, when you talk about like your interests, like you talk about movies and anything, you talk about fucking vaping, you were like building your coils like out of fucking grass on the floor. I was like, the fuck is this guy doing? But it's like, you understand really complex things. I think that there might just be a bit of internalized, like, again, that rejection sensitive dysphoria kind of thing. It's very common in ADHD to feel like preemptively like you're going to fail, and that what you're doing isn't good enough. And so you develop avoidant habits. But it's just like, even if you're weighing in on something and you're like, I'm just going to say this in the most like conversational terms possible, you're still helping people, because a lot of people aren't going to be able to listen to the way that things are phrased. Basically, I don't know. Sometimes I edit my videos and I'm just like, I try to use all the correct terms and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to myself. There are times where I won't post the video because I'm like, it's like a fucking university lecture. So it's like, I think it's good to be able to just, let's have a conversation about this, where you don't feel like you're reading like an article in the news. You're just talking to someone who's involved, someone who's in the community about what I think. And, you know, so I'm like, hell yeah, I support Ty Turner's opinion on complex topics, because I know you have good opinions. Fucking don't listen to negative thoughts. Do
well, I think it's more of like, that's very kind, and thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just slapped the microphone for you. Viewers didn't get a slap, but you did. Okay, cool. Shit, I lost it. Where were we?
Talking about complex things.
I think most of my shit with that, like, why I don't talk about politics and stuff, not just because, like, if I sat down and got my shit together and, like, wrote out a script, I could put something together and, like, sound informed and figure shit out. But with all of that work, the response to that is just, like, anything political is, like, opening the doors for people to sit there and scream their opinions at you and, like, debate you. And I'm like, that's not what I want my internet experience to be. I don't want to hear everyone else's fucking political opinions all of my life. I don't give, like, half of a shit. I'm sorry. The people that I care about, I want to hear that. But, like, random internet user with, like, an eagle as your profile and your name is Patriot01 telling me about how Trump's gonna get rid of, like, whatever the fuck that you think is wrong. No, goodbye. Not my exactly. not my internet.
Not mine. I totally fucking get that, dude. For Pride Month, I made, like, some historical Pride videos, and the first one I put out was the Stonewall video. Unfortunately for me, it was posted within a week of the New York Times Stonewall video that is titled, "The Stonewall That You Know Is a Myth, But That's Okay." And I watched the video. I watched the video prior to even making my, like, I watched it. Here's the thing. The title is clickbait. The Stonewall that you know did happen. Small, intimate details like, did she throw the first brick? Did she throw a brick at all? Was it a shot glass? Nobody knows.
Was it even
Something
her?
was thrown. The order, the chronological order in which it was thrown, nobody knows. We know that it broke the Stonewall glass thing behind them. Like, the point is that she was an activist, and she was... Even after Stonewall, I talked about how she started STAR, which was, like, basically trans women looking out for other homeless trans women, stuff like that. Like, I talked about her activist work, and then how a year later at the first Pride, Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson were specifically asked not to march. Trans people were asked to be at the back. Drag queens were asked not to be in the march at all because it makes the rest of us look bad. Like, the point of it was, learn from history, don't repeat history, understand where this all started. But I had people in my comments repeating, like, it didn't actually happen that way. Okay, then tell me, what did I say that was wrong? And all they do is list off the, like, literally word for word, the things that were in the New York Times video. Like, Stonewall wasn't actually a safe haven, it was a seedy bar. I never said it was a safe haven. I said that trans people, because of the political climate at the time, weren't allowed, places were allowed to not serve you for being queer. So they would end up in bars and clubs, like, because that was the only place where they could all kind of be together and they would get served. But I also said that that's why there were police raids, that the police raids were actually really common, that it wasn't just one raid, it was a lot of like, I even said the things that were inconsistent, that we don't know if the woman who was mishandled by the police, I didn't give a trigger warning, so I don't want to get into it, but the woman who was mishandled by the police, was it a butch lesbian? Was it a drag queen? There are different accounts, including from the person who actually, apparently it was. She's like, it was me. Then in another interview, it wasn't me. We don't have these details. That wasn't the point, but I have the same comments over and over and over. I'm like, I fucking have never hated the New York Times more than I do right now, because that was some clickbait shit. All you did was point out these little details and make it seem like the whole thing didn't happen. It's like, the point of the story isn't about all the... Anyway, I was getting so upset.
It's so hard to, like... That's one of the reasons, for a while there, I was sort of pivoting my channel to head towards, like, fitness stuff. And, like, I was either going to make a second fitness channel or just do, like, multiple fitness series on my YouTube channel, just sort of integrate fitness into my, like, just online persona. And so... Like, I that was one thing that I was wanting to do for a hot minute, and I didn't for, like, I ended up stopping for a lot of reasons, but one of the biggest ones is that the fitness community online is a lot like the political community, and that they all have their opinions, and they're all the only single right opinion, and they will tell you about it. It's completely unprompted, and it's so much
and they
scrutiny.
Totally didn't even watch your video.
Right, and it's like, it'll be something that, like, they'll sit there and nitpick, like, I don't know, some fucking shit. Oh, one person, I was doing squats in a video several years ago. on my channel. I was doing squats, and then I was talking about something with my back injury, and they were like, well, I can see the exact reason you have a back injury. It's because your back is arched in your squats. And I was like, well, no, actually I have like anterior like pelvic rotation or something. Like I just have like a natural like arch in my back that's a little more than average. Also, my back injury is from a car wreck. Like, so I don't think you know. And then like shit fucking, oh, I put up a picture of me at the gym one time. Got shit in the comments about wearing Converse by one guy, and he's like, those are absolutely not proper shoes for training, and you should not be promoting this and this and this and this. And I'm like, dude, look at the top power lifter in the world with like a fucking, I don't even know how many pounds of weight on his back. What shoes are he wearing? Is he wearing? Good English. Chuck Taylors, you know? So like, do your research before you're going to come here and shit on me. So
exactly.
Anyways,
and like,
a lot of scrutiny.
I could get so into shoes. Like as a person with EDS, it's like, actually, I have a whole bunch of videos actually literally coming out about this, but it's like, supportive footwear is actually really bad for most people's bodies because you're forcing someone's foot into a stereotypical healthy position, but it's usually unnatural. We have a certain gait for a reason. What we should be working on is consciously working on the way that we take our steps, where we're putting the weight in our body, building up arch support, building up our supporting muscles.
Interesting.
Shoes that are overly supportive are it's as if I put a cast on your leg.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? The muscles are going to, atrophize? Is that the word I'm looking for? Muscle atrophy? They're going to weaken? Mm-hmm. That's basically what happens with overly supportive footwear. All like your ankles, all that stuff, they're going to start collapsing.
Shoes are doing
you're
all
going to
the
end
work.
up with more. Yeah, and all of those in-between stability muscles aren't being worked properly. And what ends up happening is sometimes, especially if you're like me and you have EDS, your ligaments end up, instead of being like, as much as my ligaments are useless, instead of being kind of like a support or like a resistance, they become almost like seat belts, where they just, your joint gets to the end, it hits the ligament, and it comes back. And that's why people end up with the same running injuries over and over and over. So I'm like, I have so many opinions on people like, it's the wrong footwear. The only correct footwear is being barefoot, but here we are, not getting tetanus. So I'm dead serious, man. I'm like, I'm one of those people now where I'm like, if I could be barefoot all the time, I would, because I realize that all footwear causes a problem because, you know,
Evolution.
how many, oh God, no, I'm going to sound for 1 minute, I'm going to sound like the guys who wear the toe shoes, okay?
I used to wear a pair of toe shoes, so it's okay.
How many animals do you see in the wild wearing shoes?
Horses.
Fucking nut. But then it's not good for them. Horse shit's not good for them. The only reason they wear horseshoes is because they're forced to walk on concrete. Horses are meant to be running, you know, in fields. Not to sound like a hippie where we should all be fucking naked and eating berries.
I think horses should be running in fields. I'm just saying,
it's like, oh man, these like shoe elitists where it's like, what are you wearing? It's like, I could wear a sock with silicone under it and it's gonna like it fucking anyway. Shoes are just such a topic for me.
I'm gonna bring us back home here for a second. A big reason that I decided not to pursue fitness content is because of all the anxiety I had about the scrutiny I would get. And
good segue.
And horses should not wear shoes.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I get all of my special interests, and I'm like, and another thing about shoes. Yeah, so fitness.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, but see, it's hard to not get riled up.
Yeah, anxiety plays a big part in like my issues with, especially like even currently right now, I have batch filmed some videos because I'm about to be out of the country next month, and I have all of this content that's like not edited, and I've been putting off going through it and editing it because I feel like I didn't do good enough in my filming. And I'm like, the more I put it off, like if it's bad, I can just refilm it, but I don't even want to look at it because I'm like, it needs to be good, but I don't think it is. And so it's cyclical. It's bad. It's like,
dude,
and I'm like, if this ends up being
time.
shitty, I can't post this on my YouTube channel. And if I can't post it, then I'm not going to have an upload. So what is it? You know, it's like,
oh my God. I wish I could show you my desktop right now.
Yeah.
I would, because we're both, for different reasons, for the next month, we're both in our things. I'm like, to talk about my own thing, I'm working on an animation contract, but like fully animated 10-minute video, that's like, a day, if I'm lucky, I'll get 30 minutes of full animation. If I work on it for like 12 hours, like it's long to do traditional animating. So I'm doing that.
Wait, 30 minutes?
30 seconds, sorry.
30 seconds. That makes more sense.
30 seconds. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's 30 frames per second and I'm drawing every single frame. So just like doing 30 drawings for 1 second. If you just do that, crunch those numbers real quick, it's long.
Yeah.
And they
no
want it all
shit.
colored. Anyway, it's cool. I'm doing it. But it means same. I'm batch filming, but it's, I didn't think anyone would say it exactly the same way as me. It always happens. I batch film. And I'm like, all right, I put it on my computer. The next day, I'm like, I don't feel good about what I filmed yesterday. And I'm like, I should just watch it. I'm like, I don't want to watch it because I don't feel good about what I filmed yesterday. And it's just this thing. And you end up just with like, I have videos that are like, I'm still wearing my old square glasses, standing in front of those blue paintings, never saw the light of day. I don't even know what I said in them. And then by the time, if you wait too long, by the time you go back to them, you're like, I'm a different person now. Yeah. I'm not even in the same apartment.
I don't even recognize him.
I'm 3 years on T. Like, I can't just post like something from like 9 months on T seamlessly. Everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, cool. Nothing changed there.
Oh my God.
So yeah. No, I totally get it. I'm like, fuck, I thought I was the only I have like a time capsule of videos because of that. And I'm doing the same thing right now. I'm like, shit. Mm-hmm. And some of them have like multiple files. Like I'll try to film the same video 3 times. So then like that file is like 16 videos of like different takes, and I'm like, I don't want to go through all that, and I don't like any of them. Yes. So then I end up filming it again, but then that next one the next day I also don't like. So it's just they keep piling up. I'm like, just
I literally refilmed one of my videos while I was batch filming, and now I'm like, I think that the refilm video is not good enough either. / maybe I should have just kept the original one. / maybe just scrap it all together. I don't need this, but I do. Oh God. So anxiety is really fun. And then another really fun one to try to couple with, being a content creator is ADHD, because the internet, I mean, a second on the internet, it is just, a day on the internet is like a second of real time. Shit moves fast and you got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if it takes me 5 hours to do something that should take me 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing that we were talking about before, that like for you it's anxiety. I'm like, for me, that is part of ADHD. Again, rejection sensitive dysphoria is that like the fear of failure, avoiding tasks, having trouble with executive functioning. Let's say that I'm going to film all these things. Then you're like, okay, I did it. But then you're like, I hate it. I'm literally not going to look at it. Those avoidant behaviors are because why? I'm afraid of rejection from myself. I know that I'm not going to like it, so I don't want to watch it. I'm afraid that others will reject me because it's not good enough. That feeling of inadequacy, all that shit. It's like, that's actually ADHD. It's its own
shit.
It's its own thing. It's a little different. I've tried to because it is part of anxiety. It's like anxiety disorders take all kinds of shapes, including like OCD, all that stuff. But it's like, I've noticed the difference is that like, how come I could get myself to film, let's say, but then while I'm filming, I'm already like, wow, I know I'm fucking up. Like, it's not exactly complete avoidance. It's like this weird in between. I was like, yes, that sweet, sweet rejection sensitive dysphoria. Whereas I think someone who, let's say, is like, I don't have ADHD, but I have anxiety, it would be different. I feel, I don't know.
I guess the only reason I call it anxiety is because that is the feeling that I'm having, so that's what I recognize it as.
It manifests, yeah.
But yeah, I totally get what you're meaning is like the cause versus like how I receive it.
Yeah, like anxiety being a symptom of this larger.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's super weird. ADHD is a fucking dick. Not to like call anyone out here, but ADHD.
I hate it. And every time I talk to you and I'm like, here are all of the worst problems in my life right now, and you're like, Ty, that's literally entirely ADHD. And I'm like,
a lot of it comes down to that.
I should get medicated. And then I always do like the first 2 steps into seeing how to go about doing that, and then I don't pursue it. I don't know. Yeah. I would love that. Like I fucking I described it, and I think I'd like to tell people who maybe don't understand what ADHD is like. For me, it's like knowing that there's buried treasure in your backyard, and you go out there into your backyard with a shovel and you dig like 3 feet, and then you look over to your side and you're like, oh my God, that's probably a good spot to dig to. So then you dig there like 3 feet, and the treasure's like 6 feet down, and then you see another spot, and so you dig like 2 feet, but then you remember that first spot, so you go back there and you dig another foot, and then there's another, and you do that all day until you have like just hundreds of half dug holes, and none of them actually deep enough to get the thing that you were trying to get. That's how I feel.
And you're exhausted because you've put in
and then you
10
feel like
times
you've done
the amount
nothing.
of work.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you've put in 10 times the amount of work it would take to dig one single hole, but it's not, yeah. I totally get that. Or the, like, I got my shovel, I went outside, and because you're so fixated on trying to find the perfect spot because you don't want to fuck it up, you end up, like, not doing anything. The sun goes down, you're, like, on your deathbed, you're like, how am I 97 years old now? I don't know. I was just answering this text message, and now I can't remember where I put my other sock, because I can't put on socks and answer texts at the same time.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So
Or my
that's a
personal
fun
favorite
one.
song, I can't answer these texts because I don't know what I'm being texted about. I haven't answered the past texts. I don't know what to say to apologize about not answering the past texts. And I don't know if what I'm going to say will be good enough to these current texts. So the whole thing's overwhelming. I'll do it later. And then it happens again the next time they text. I'm like, oh, I'll answer them. Oh, wait, now I need to apologize for 2 times I didn't text them back. And I don't. So yeah, no, it just ends up.
I think that
Sorry I didn't text you, the musical.
you've probably noticed with me is like if I haven't texted you back, like I'll see the stuff that you said the last time, like the next time I go to text you, and I just get to the point where like I don't say anything about it, and I just text you about the
You don't
next
have
thing,
to, yeah.
and I'm like, well, you know that I know because I'm texting you,
Yeah.
so I've read this, but yeah,
That's usually my favorite way to go. People who like don't make like the only people in my life who don't make a big deal about it are like you, my friend Caleb, and my friend Fred. And Caleb, I'm like looking at, like squinting at in neurodivergent. I'm like, and my friend Fred is also on the autism spectrum. So it's like it's all people who get it firsthand, and so we never shit on each other for it. It's like, yeah, no, it's fine. There'd be like 6 missed text messages, and then you just answer the one that I just sent. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking normal, obviously. That's
Yeah.
like this. It's fucking fun. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Go back to each? Like,
yeah, because
so it's
then
just-
I
it's
have
when
to
people make a
read
big
through
deal.
every single one, think of a response for every single one, and then do those in order. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And I also don't expect you to do that because I spam text you with like, here's everything that I've wanted to tell you for a week and haven't been able to. Here you go. And then, you know.
Yeah.
So.
It's nice when there's not that pressure, when there's not that I need to constantly apologize. It's like I get it. If people want an apology, I'm like totally valid. I get that. Except what's going to happen, I will apologize, but I'm also about 17,000 times less likely to answer you the next time you text me. And I'm probably going to avoid more because you develop more avoidance. You're like, this ended badly. It's worse. It's like, so I'm going to just not answer at all, because if I don't answer at all, then it doesn't matter that I didn't answer the first ones because I didn't answer anything.
Ooh, big brain time.
Yeah. No.
I feel that.
Yeah,
dude.
no, being chill. It's a life hack.
Yeah, I really like texting you and like knowing that you're not upset whenever I have my shenanigans and my ways.
Nah, shenanigans are welcome here. We're good.
We love shenanigans.
Love a good shenan.
There was another thing with YouTube that I was wanting to talk about. Oh, still on the topic of ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a YouTuber, you don't have a boss. You're doing all of this on your own. And you're also at the same time, a lot of people don't really realize how many hats you are wearing. You're basically a one-person production team as well as an advertising team, and fucking you learn SEO, you learn marketing. Like, even if you're doing bare minimum, you're doing a fucking lot of work to just like get out videos, have thumbnails and titles and promote them. It's a lot to do. And with ADHD, for me, a lot of times, like I said, you get halfway done with something, realize you have to do something else, and anything that could possibly be a distraction comes up, and then it's like I might not even be able to get back on this task for hours. You know. And so
or not
every
being able
step
to
of,
like.
sorry,
That's okay. Go ahead. Sorry, that delay.
we're good. There's just so many steps to it, and so there's so much room for error. Like, you get distracted during this step, and then by the time you get back, it's like, oh, if I could have worked, I would have been here, and now I'm not going to be. So I'm gonna go work on this other thing anyways, because this task is ruined.
Yeah.
I can't do it anyways for today.
Yeah. Exactly. That's like the day, like I can't because now I've done this other thing, or like you have other stuff to do. Let's say it's like managing my week. I don't understand. It could be Monday, and if I don't already have a video like edited and ready for Friday, my week is gone. Because like by the time I muster everything I need to muster to be verbal enough to film my video, and then
Yes.
also have the executive functioning to edit the video, it's already like Thursday night somehow. And then everything else I had to do that week, I'm like, I can't do these other things. Okay, the most urgent thing for me is getting my video done. I can't do this other stuff. But then it's like, I didn't do groceries. I didn't go out. I didn't see my friends or family. I didn't do any of the other stuff. I didn't do commissions because I've been so focused on fighting my brain in order to get my video done. And then that video's done and you're like, fuck, it's already, then you have Saturday, Sunday where you're like, okay, chill. And then Monday's there and you're like, all right, well, here we go again.
Oh yeah.
So somehow it consumes my week. It's been a tough with that.
Right. And I've tried multiple times, like even when I'm not leaving or anything, I'll try to batch film and get ahead of my work. And it's like something always changes, especially like working with sponsors. A lot of that will be like, here, you need to do like a totally last minute thing and rearrange your whole plan for your uploads and stuff, which I'm not good at. I need like 2 months of written notice if anything has to change ever. So I'm like,
yeah,
not anything in my, but you know, just like, if I have to readjust, then I have to like let go of what I thought was going to happen and get into the mind space of like, okay, now this is the plan. Let's go. And that might take me like a hot fucking minute.
Overbearing sponsors are the worst. Just like FYI.
Yeah.
When it comes to making content, it's like sponsors that are just like, you don't have wiggle room. I can't. It makes me never want to make videos again. I'm like,
It's so
I
hard.
just want to say things. Can I just say things? And I end up just not making, like, for those of you concerned, I end up just not releasing the sponsored video and just telling them, like, forget it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Where it's like, could you actually not use the word transgender here? I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
Any other questions? Or it's like, could you actually remove the meme that you posted here? We don't actually have the rights to the meme. I'm like,
It's a meme.
No.
Yeah.
you don't need rights to a meme. That's not... First of all, I made the meme.
That's so
Secondly,
funny.
it doesn't work. And then it's like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's the way a meme works is it's a picture and you put words on the picture. So you do have creative rights to it. It's everyone. The point of a meme is that you're adapting it to fit your joke.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get it. The 70-year-old CEO messaging me. It's like, we don't get it. I'm like, okay, cool, chill. All right.
I have
At the end of the day, I'm like, I can't just have a video where I show your things and say nothing. That's not going to happen.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, peace, thanks, bye.
that's what's so
Yeah.
hard is like I have a really cool, well, I'll just say Skillshare, best sponsor I've ever worked with. Fucking love them. They are so tight and they're sponsoring this pod. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you guys. But no, I love them and they have been so chill on so many occasions with me. And then like, so I'm kind of spoiled. And then I work with like, oh my God. What the worst
The
is
smaller
when
companies.
do what?
The smaller companies.
The smaller companies. Oh,
They usually...
no, honestly, for me, well, yeah, some of I think smaller companies have their faults because they're like, we'll give you 2 pennies. You can have a
nickels.
rubber band and a nice little hat that we found on the side of the road. That's for you. We need a 90-second sponsorship with 2 CTAs. We want it in the first half. We want 6 links at the top of your description. And I'm like, all right, folks, take it easy.
Actually, we're taking back one of the pennies, too. And you're like, but
Like,
why?
Stop. But mine, the worst that I think right now is happening is that like bigger companies are hiring these like marketing agencies through which they find sponsors, and then they have, so it's like all of these layers between you and the actual company, and they're like, fucking 14-page contract here, sign this. I'm like, bro, please. And then you like
Yep.
read through it and it's like, I mean, that same shit, and they're like, well, here's, yeah, I don't know, and they want you to be like, so I'm not like, there's some channels that are really good at like promoting sponsorships and like they have the audience, they have the content for it. My content, like a lot of stuff doesn't really integrate that easily, so I'm like, I'm just gonna have to do like a fucking commercial break, and that's fine. Like that's what I do with Skillshare, and they're like, chill, we love it. But some people, some sponsorships are like, we want this integrated,
organic.
we want an organic integration, so we're gonna need you to make like this video that you would never fucking put on your channel. And I'm like, I don't know.
Pride Month was the worst when it came to I turned down a lot of sponsorship. Not to, it's so popular. It's not about that. As soon as you're making videos, people will ask you for sponsorships. It doesn't mean they're going to pay you.
Yeah.
It's just FYI. I've made full videos, and then at the end they're like, oh, well, we weren't going to pay you. I'm like,
Oh boy, you got to get that shit up front in writing.
Oh, I never post them. I'm like, you think that I have the disrespect to promote something to my audience to a company that has this integrity?
Right.
You're confused, my friend.
Mhm.
So really picky about my sponsorships. And Pride Month, my dude, I can't say which company because obviously like you can't.
Yeah.
But there's a company that contacted me and we had like this phone conversation. It was all chill, whatever. And then they're like, well, what do you have lined up for Pride Month? I'm like, well, my Pride Month is actually majority going to be educational videos and like these.
Oh my God. Do I know the one that you're talking
like that.
about? Is it the one that's with all the trans
And
guys?
then, yeah. And
Okay.
then they're like, well, what are you putting out? I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, my first video is going to be about Stonewall. They're like, perfect. Work it into that one. I'm like,
Oh my God.
Stonewall, sponsored by this fucking vibrator. Like, are you?
Oh my
Are you
God.
Are you serious,
Bro.
So I was like, I was like, no, thank you, and I have to go. Yeah, what? Coming.
Yeah. See, that's kind of
Anyway.
like I was saying the opposite for me with Skillshare. Like so I had a video that was supposed to be sponsored coming up. And then I posted my nude, and then I wanted to make a video about that, and it was timely. So I wanted to put that one up next. So I told them, I was like, listen, this is what I'm doing. They sent me back this like long, it was like two paragraphs, not 2 pages. Please, I would never read that. It was 2 paragraphs of like, we completely support your channel. We want you to make exactly the content you want to make. If you want to sponsor us, or if you want to promote us in that video, we're totally comfortable with your message, but we feel like that might muddy your message. If you'd rather push the video back or push the sponsorship back to your next video, that's fine. And I was like, that is exactly what I want to do. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then in doing that, like I was breaking contract, because then it put it past the threshold mark, but they were still like, like just valuing, I don't know. I could just really tell with them that they were like, they meant that. They weren't just like, oh, we don't want to be in a video about nudity. We just don't want to like take away from the message with a sponsorship. And I was like, that's what I was thinking too, but I didn't want to ask. And they were just
the only sponsor I've ever had who's been that chill has been Pride Counseling, which I literally use. Anyway, so many, I got like, not so many, I got like 1 or 2 people kind of give me slack about it, about like online counseling. I'm like, fun fact, before they contacted me, I was going to make a whole dedicated video about online counseling. Except when they contacted me, they didn't want that. They wanted me to just make a regular video and integrate them into it. I'm like, okay, it's your choice. I'm like, I was ready to literally like, this has been a game changer for me. I wanted to make a video about this. I wasn't sponsored, but anyway. So I made that video. Kylan, please, for the love of God, leave the plants alone. And they were so chill about the fact that like I actually ended up posting theirs earlier. I was supposed to have 2 more history videos for Pride Month, but because of the move and a bunch of stuff happened, I was like, I'm like, is it okay if we change? Like, yeah, totally, it's fine. Like they were fine with anything. They were legit like, we believe in your content and this and that, and we really like the work you're doing. I'm like, oh, stop. It's really sweet. So yeah, hell yeah. I like sponsors who actually care. It's not just like, you with a face.
Yeah.
Put this in your video.
Yeah.
they like give a shit,
Sell this to your subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't work like that. And they can see through that shit. Like when it is all forced and like disingenuous, like I don't know. I always like to, if I really like a company, I'll be like, I really liked it. Like I really stress it, because I'm like, I want you guys to understand. And I'm also very picky with my sponsorships, and like I limit my sponsored videos to 1 per month on my channel, so that I'm not like, you're not clicking on here for like, just, I don't want my whole channel to be a fucking commercial, but
Yeah.
there's that sort of understanding and that respect with the audience and the creator of like, yes, you need to make money somehow, and this is how you're going to do it, because none of your shit's going to get AdSense on it because you're trans and you cuss. So
Yeah.
I
People
feel like,
understand.
people are like really on a good level, and I don't want to just be promoting shit, because I'm sure you get the emails too from like, just like the weirdest, like I've gotten not the big detox tea that everyone talks about, but I've gotten shit like that, like our cleanse. And I'm like, spoiler alert, we have organs that do that. And that's like,
Yeah, it's like,
I'm like, nah.
Here I was using my liver and my pancreas like a chump. Like,
Right. And they're like or the like the charcoal toothpaste.
Yeah.
I get stuff like that a lot. And I've literally only ever heard that just like strips your teeth away. And I'm like, I don't even want to use this, and I definitely don't want to promote it to anyone. So
Exactly.
It is
anything, most, like, even, let's say, okay, I do the, every once in a while I'll do like stim toys. I literally refuse to get paid to do those. I'm like, you could send me the product, I'm going to try it, but I don't want to be paid for this because I don't know if I like this product yet or not.
Yeah.
The only ones I'll accept payment for, it's super rare. It'll be things that I'm like, either I contacted them like, hey, want to work with me? Or I've already tried their product and I fully support it. I'm like, I would never take a gamble. Like, I was sent this thing, buy it. Because they paid me to say that. It's like, I get that people know that, like, we, like, creators have to integrate a certain level of sponsorships and, you know, to pay bills and stuff like that, because what is AdSense? And YouTube and trans people are just
right. Yeah,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
But with certain things, I'm talking about things that are like for autistic people, you know, for disabled people, for people with EDS. It's like, I would never give a half-ass opinion on something like that. You know, it's like, I want to test it, I want to know that it's good, and I want to be able to say fully if I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
Even like prosthetics, I'll never accept payment for a prosthetic, never, because they're so expensive. You could send me the prosthetic, I will not accept payment to review it because it's too goddamn expensive for me not to tell people if it works or not. You know, it's like such a touchy thing.
I totally feel what you mean. I recently did a video for a line. I mean, I already said Skillshare, but I don't know. I don't want them to. They're a company. They're big. I don't want to do anything wrong. But they do like grooming products. So I did like a get ready with me video and was showing their products and stuff. And it was originally supposed to just be like part of a vlog, but then I ended up not making that vlog. And so I just made it into a dedicated video. But at first I actually turned down that sponsorship, and when they contacted me, and they were offering me like a pretty solid amount, like more than most of my sponsorships offer me. So like it was I was like, oh shit, tight. But then you know, I did some research on their company, and I have used their products before, but like not their men's line of products. I used from their company, but another line a long time ago. So I knew that they were really good stuff, because my aunt is a professional hairstylist, and so she's sort of gotten those products for me in the past. They're like bouge. But I was like, I did some research, and I don't know what I came across, but something where I thought that they were testing on animals. And so I was straight up like, hey, thanks for the offer. I'm sorry, but I can't like ethically like promote these products that are tested on animals. And so they got back to me a little while later. They sent me a statement from their company about how they don't test on animals, and they're working to get like, I don't even know what it's called, the bunny, like the certified, like cruelty free. Yeah. And they're trying to do all that, and that they never test on animals with like a full, like, I don't even know, some sort of like official statement. And I was like, okay, tight, let's do it. So I do, like, I vet them pretty, you know, as much as I can. Like, I'm sure stuff can slip through the cracks, but I try to make sure that if it's going to be good, I'm going to like it. And it's not going to be something that's like, there's a lot of like predatory companies, like the detox teas and stuff that promote next to like women who've had like all sorts of surgeries, saying like, try this tea and look like me. Like, fuck all that.
Yeah, man, you're totally right. That's a really good way of phrasing it. It's like they're predatory advertisement companies, because they're looking for a vulnerable audience, and they're looking like it's just, and you could tell, and you're like, no, and of course, like, that's how I wouldn't be able to sleep at night with that on my conscience. It's like, it makes it, I don't know. It adds another layer to being a creator, because it's like YouTube sure as shit isn't paying a lot of us,
right? Because
just demonetization left and right. You talk about anything, even my LGBT history videos, those are all demonetized, all of them, because it's controversial to not be heterosexual, white, cis, het. So God forbid I talk about these trans women of color of the past. Anyway, all that to say, it just becomes this thing where you're like, well, I need a side job. It's like animating and my commissions and stuff like that, and it's hard on my body physically, because like, your fingers are just ligaments. There aren't really muscles here. They're just always subluxing and shit. So that's fun. And I know you do. I mean, I don't want to talk about like your own work, but I know you do like some like physical labor.
Oh yeah, like I spent my like last weekend, I house sat for like a family member that legit has a farm. So I kind of worked a farm the whole fucking weekend, and during the day I hauled railroad ties and did yard work for someone else. So like it's not
Fucking
like
wild.
people think that YouTubers are just like raking it in. Some of them definitely are, but I'm fucking not. I'm out here like in my cowboy boots and my hat, and I'm like chewing on a straw, like brushing the cows and shit.
And surprisingly, it doesn't exactly go with subscriber count.
Right.
Not to get into that, but it's
Oh.
like there could be people who have a fraction of your following, but still have a substantial following who are just like rolling in dough.
Mm-hmm.
It all has to do with exploitative nature, not really having a conscience with the thing. Like it's a whole thing.
And also
integrity as a creator. You know,
the industry. Like if you are part
Yeah.
of something like fucking the makeup community online, so much potential for money there. Not even just with like creating your own brands, but like getting paid to review brands. Like
reviews in general. Yeah,
any sort of like
sponsored reviews are
mommy vlogs, kids, those kids toys pay out the ass for you to show them on your like channel, because kids are the easiest to market to. But yeah, one of my friends, well, I'll just talk about him, Aaron Richard. When he was like on YouTube heavily, and like I went over there to meet him and we were friends and stuff, he was doing like weed related videos, and so he had like a pretty good, like, it's kind of the Wild West for weed in the US right now. So all of these new companies are looking for people to promote them, and he had like I think like 50,000 subscribers, and he had so many sponsors, and I was like, bro, I'm in the wrong fucking line of YouTube. But of like really kick-ass sponsors that were like cool. Like he wasn't being shitty. He was just like these genuine like new startups that need promotion, and like there's not a ton of YouTubers that are making like solid content about weed and like can do, I don't know. He was really good at the whole business side of YouTube, and was doing really well for himself. And I was like, holy shit, I need to get my business shoes
there
on.
are a lot of these companies that you'd be surprised how much they pay.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes it comes down to like morals, and it's very complicated. And then you're in this place where you're like, I can't talk about this. Like I literally can't. But it's something. So just to let you know, it's like the subscriber count doesn't always mean that someone is, rolling in dough. Sometimes it's a lot. Especially within our community. So, yeah.
Well,
Anyway, I found a quiz.
okay, tight. Is it one of those which YouTuber are you quizzes? Have we done one of those?
No, I decided, because we've done one. Yeah, I decided we should do, it's on BuzzFeed. It's which yoga pose best suits your personality? Because mental health, you got to do yoga.
You gotta do yoga to get better.
Yeah, you have to. It's the only way. Yoga and detox teas.
Essential oils.
I'm joking, by the way.
Ah, shit. I'm just gonna have to Google this, I think. Because
Did it not work?
No, we're Skyping on my phone.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
that's
take the
true.
quiz on my computer. I'm gonna set my microphone down 1 second.
we're going to take this moment to take a message from our sponsors. Just kidding, we don't have any. In fact, all of our podcasts are demonetized for copyright strikes for the music that we pay for in the intro. So, thank you.
I didn't ever fix that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault. I've tried to fix it myself too, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
What the fuck? Okay, so is it
it's
which
there.
yoga pose
It's-
best suits your personality?
Yeah.
Okay,
It has like a green mat.
there we go. I'm gonna have to just email that company with the music and just talk to someone, because I don't know what.
It's less a problem with them, more a problem with YouTube's copyright
Yeah.
algorithm that recently has been going haywire. Like everyone, hopefully it's not a. I think it's not a problematic term, haywire. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, a lot of people have been like a creator I follow, Mumbo Jumbo, like had to remove all his intro music. He's like, I have the rights to this intro music, but it's like YouTube just, these copyright strikes come in automatically. There's no one on the receiving end. It's literally just, anyway.
Oh my god.
So the podcast has the rights to the music, but it's not even the company. They're like, we didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, thanks
Thanks
YouTube.
YouTube.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna have to talk to
Anyway.
YouTube with all my, inside connections that I have as a big YouTuber. No, I'm kidding. I have no one. I have no one to talk to about this shit. I just go to Twitter and rant when stuff goes bad, and then hopefully they see it.
I feel you. I feel you. It's like this closed circle of like, I don't even know.
we
man.
can't get into
Sometimes
that.
I'm like,
How would you describe
the
yourself?
politics. Focused, intense, caring, energized, social, or optimistic.
Ooh,
no, I
none.
clicked optimistic. Ooh, I'm gonna go with caring.
I think that
Where
I'm
did you click?
I'm not any of these.
I think you're a bit of all of them.
I think I radically jump between them depending on my mood, but I couldn't be like I'm a focused person, because holy shit,
I would say
like 1% of the time
I would
I'm
call you
extremely focused.
out of this list, I would say an intense person.
Cool.
Because you take on really intense projects and you go all the way with a lot of things, like even like your Halloween series. You're like that's an intense thing to get in. That's not just like a little. That's like, so yeah, I would go with intense because that's a very specific quality.
I like that. Thank you. Pick a yoga retreat.
Yeah. Bali, Costa Rica, Mexico, India, California, or Nicaragua.
A yoga retreat.
Gee.
Is Bali the one where trans people aren't allowed?
I was trying, so I'm like, how do I say this without being problematic? The only place that I know in here that I've been to is California. The rest of them, I'm not aware of the politics, like the political climate surrounding trans people. So I'm gonna go with the only one I've been to, which is California.
Well,
I have no idea.
Gigi Gorgeous was like stopped at the airport. Elsewhere. She was like going, I think it was Bali. It could have been somewhere else. But if it was Bali, then I don't want to go there. But she was like stopped. She was going there for like a professional thing. I'm pretty sure it was like a modeling thing. Stopped at the airport. They're like, you can't come in because you're trans. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. And so she had to like go home. She made a video about it. It's like it's fucking sad. Or maybe it was in her documentary. Yeah, it was in her documentary. Ridiculous. So
I can't believe that.
If that is that place. If not, thank you, Bali. If it is, fuck you, Bali. I think that well, I'm going to India, and that seems like they would know their shit when it comes to yoga, right? Like that would be a good place to do it. I'm gonna go with India.
You know what? You're right. I don't even think that I realized that was on the list. I will also go with India. That makes the most sense.
Totally.
Kylam, you know what? To have different answers, I'm going to stick with California just to make sure we have like...
Okay.
My cat wants to weigh in. Which word do you associate most with yoga?
Oh.
Sweat?
Oh, God.
Stretch?
No.
Restore? Relax? Reflect? Breathe?
Ew.
I would say breathing.
3 of those are... I just don't like the idea of breathing.
Sweat.
Breath. Sweat. I'm going to go with stretch.
I hate the idea of relaxing.
I hate relaxing.
With you're going to go with reflect?
No, I'm going to go with stretch.
Stretch.
Because that's what happens whenever
I'm gonna
I do
breathe,
that.
Because all I remember from like my yoga classes that I've ever had to take like for fucking college, why? Anyway, is they're like, remember to breathe. I'm like, I'm suffocating.
I always do that.
Is trembling.
Shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of breathing. Goddamn breathing people. Pick an essential oil, of course. Peppermint, lavender, grapefruit, ginger, sandalwood, or eucalyptus.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with sandalwood because that's like a nice masculine scent.
Masculine. Oh, it smells like sweat and
stretch.
CrossFit.
Sorry for just really laughing hard at my own joke there for a second, but yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go with eucalyptus just because I'm always sick, so I'm just always breathing eucalyptus. Excuse me.
That's nice.
Where would you set up your mat in class?
What the fuck is this? I can't process this. Oh, okay, I get it.
I think I'd be like a bee. Mm-hmm. I'd be like the back left corner, like somewhere far away, so nobody could see me.
To give our listeners, I like that too. I agree with B. I think I'll be A. I'll be on the other side. To give our listeners a little bit of insight to what the fuck is going on, they have like a diagram of like a bunch of rectangles that are different colors with letters on them. And there's one that's the instructor. So like it's basically a diagram of a yoga class, and you have to pick which letter would correspond to the mat where you would want to be. And at first it looks extremely confusing. What? And then F? Why did they have to do that? Because that's just rude to me.
That's like the one that's the one who wants to be so like just a little too close to the teacher. That's just like, I'm also a certified yoga instructor, but I'm just here for my stretches. And they're like, and it's like, you don't have to be that close to anyone. Yeah. So.
Okay. Stay hydrated.
That like you hear like 40 times in the session about like that one time they went to India and did like crazy yoga. Sorry, crazy is problematic. Wild yoga. And they're just, and you're like, no, I get it. You went, yeah. Oh, you went to Thailand too once. Wow, good. You have pictures? Of course you have pictures. Show me the pictures.
Show me the ones where you got to like
that person.
Yeah. Where you met all the wild animals and like meditated with them. That's tight. And tell me about your experience
like,
drinking
totally
peyote.
You're allowed to like go on vacation and talk about it, just not during a yoga class. I'm just trying to do my downward dog pose. Okay, Susan, I don't want to hear about it. Anyway. Stay hydrated. Pick a drink. Water, coffee, tea. Oh wait, did you choose a spot in class?
Yeah, I chose
you
A.
Didn't choose a spot. Okay, yeah, cool, good.
So
nice.
we're twinsies.
So we're not too close, because we're bros.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to be like one mat apart.
Coffee all the way. Oh.
So
wait, they
pick
say
a drink. Water, coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. Go.
That's okay. I'm having trouble hearing a little bit. Because of the phone thing, but we're good. Water, coffee, tea, energy drink, fruit smoothie, or green smoothie. It's a green smoothie, not fruit. Okay, I'm gonna go with water because I really like water.
No, you know what? Green smoothie
Tell me.
pisses me off too, and so I'm glad that you said that because that's what they'll call it. That like on a menu, it'll be like green smoothie, and I'm like the color. I'm supposed to know based on that. Like, and that's what it's just like coined the term is like green because it's got a bunch of vegetables and shit in it. But there's all sorts of, you'll see like,
it could be
I want a
anything.
berry smoothie. Do you want, and it's like orange, acai, whatever, acai, I mean, and then like, and then there's green. No, I don't like, that should not be
Green
like
isn't a flavor.
universally accepted as a fucking thing. Okay.
And green smoothies could go like any direction. I'm almost done with your rant.
What's it gonna taste like?
It could be like, delicious, a regular smoothie with a little spinach. Or it could just be like, I put lawn trimmings in here.
Right?
Mowed my lawn 5 minutes ago and it is in your drink.
And they also have on this list the picture that corresponds to the word energy drink is just a Gatorade bottle, which is not
is
an
it a sports drink or are we talking like Monster Energy?
Right, exactly. I would choose Monster if it was on here, but I'm gonna go with coffee.
Okay, cool.
Pick a mat.
Good. Pick a mat.
Oh,
I'm gonna go. Okay, there are different colors. There's a aqua, I think, fuchsia, ultramarine blue.
oh my god.
What looks to be
There's blue, pink,
maybe like
blue,
a
blue, orange,
like a
green.
phthalo.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say like aqua / mint, fuchsia pink, ultramarine blue, a light phthalo blue, orange, and like lime green.
Okay.
Orange could just stay orange. Is orange. Orange.
Yeah, it's that. Honestly, very accurate. But if I was listening, I would not be able to picture like 9 out of 10 of these colors, and there's only 6.
You'd be like, so orange.
Yeah, I'm going with orange.
I'm gonna go with aqua.
Okay.
Do you fall asleep during savasana? Yes, no, or what the fuck is that? I'm gonna go with a solid what the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
me
Because I don't
too.
know.
Oh, I got mine.
Ooh, I got
What'd you get?
triangle pose. I like that. It's geometric. You are an observant artist who has strong aesthetic taste.
Holy
Thank you.
shit.
You are always generous
Whoa.
with your time and energy. Wow, it's almost like they're complimenting me and I'm going to take all the compliments. How do they know it's me? I'm kidding. You are always generous with your time and energy, and you're usually the first to help a friend or family member talk about a challenging problem. And you're always there when they need to laugh or a shoulder too.
Oh my
That's a weird
god,
way
a
of
shoulder
phrasing
too.
that.
Dude, this is the first like accurate BuzzFeed quiz that like fucking pegged you. Like
Yeah.
it got you
That was pretty-
exactly right. That is I'm shocked.
I like to shit on generic tests, but I was like, God damn it.
That's so
Of course it would be yoga.
That's ridiculous. The yoga one is the one that got it, and it's like they literally
course
asked
it
you,
is.
they asked you what color mat you would be, and they fucking knew your whole soul inside and out. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, he chose the aqua, of course.
Yes, it's because he's so generous with his time. Oh my god!
What did you?
I got downward facing dog. You're a smart and curious thinker who is always rooting for the underdog. You're known for always shaking things up and encouraging your friends to push themselves. You're independent and equally enjoy mental challenges as well as physical ones.
yeah, I think that's
I think this
nice. It's very sweet.
this yoga quiz. Yeah, this yoga quiz is pretty good. I like this yoga quiz.
I like this.
Let us know if you get an accurate results too.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Do the quiz. Take it along with us. Rewind and listen to all of that again, and this time take the quiz alongside us, and then let us know what you got in the comments below. This got a little off.
Yeah.
We kind of went in some different directions here, but overall I had fun, and I think that we talked about what we intended to talk about. So I hope you guys liked it.
Very good. It was organic. The sponsors would be so proud.
Yes, we integrated them perfectly.
Nailed
it. All right, folks. This has been my
Very
favorite
cool.
podcast. I'm your favorite co-host, Ty Turner.
I'm also your favorite co-host, Aaron and Sweeney. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.